Howdy, howdy, Bluegrass buddies and fiddle friends. It's Mike Mitchell here from Floyd Music School and Mike Mitchell Band. Today, I'd like to teach you the Wildwood Flower. This is a song that this is the first song that I teach my students, and usually the first song that gets brought up if I'm at a festival doing workshops. And it's near and dear to my heart. I'm a Southwest Virginia guy, big fan of the Carters and the Bristol sessions, and it just makes a whole lot of sense for this to be the first song that I teach my students. So I fiddle and sing this song out of the key of D. Now please, don't get up in arms. If you're a guitar player, or if you are near and dear to a guitar player, and you know that they play it out of C, I'm sure that they'll be more than happy to capo up a couple of frets if they hear you playing it well. It just happens to play easily out of the key of D, especially at the beginner level. The very basic melody, like so, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. That's important. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Very simple melody. If you're learning with me as we go along, please stop the video, rewind it, and keep doing it until you've got it down pat. Now, pretty standard. Next step is we'll add some shuffle bows. Let me see. Now, if you are a beginner level player, just, stop the video, step aside, and just practice that shuffle. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Just practice that, for minutes or hours on end, or however long it takes you to get it. Tapping your foot along with the time, or even using a metronome is a great idea. That metronome is a really great idea. So, before we get into any more ornaments, let's go ahead and add a tenor. 1, 2, 3. And there's a little drone. Those of us who are already, used to playing the fiddle and play our fiddles often, we know all about that, and we'll get to that. So that was the tenor part. Let's put a baritone part under that guy, shall we? All right, fine. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here comes one blue note. So yeah, a few more drones, and there was a blue note in there. An F natural or a low 2. Etc. So we've got very basic melody. We've got the shuffle version. I always call it the second version. And we've got a twin and a triple harmony that we can all put together. This is a fine place to stop and to teach your friends or to learn all three parts yourself. If you've got that, I mean, you've got it well enough to fiddle at a slow jam, for sure. But you may be interested in embellishing it into more of a bluegrass-styled fiddle tune. Well, me too. 1, 2, 3. There. That is a very respectable, fiddly, grassy, more leaning on the grassy side with that blue note, fiddly version of the Wildwood Flower. Now, you might say, oh, gosh darn, I think I'd like to sing this and fiddle it. You're in luck. I already do. So here's how I start. I make sure I remind myself of the melody. Now, before I begin to sing this, little caveat. I sing the twine mid the ringlets lyrics from the 1860s, the original copyrighted version. This is not what Maybelle sang, word for word anyway. And I like to just tap. I like to start out by just tapping my hand on the off beat. So if I'm doing foot and hand, it's foot, hand, foot, hand, foot, hand. I will twine mid the ringlets of raven black hair. The lilies so pale and the roses so fair. The myrtle so bright with an emerald hue, and the pale Aronatus with eyes of bright blue. Now that's not too difficult to do. Now let's just exchange that left hand finger tap for a right hand, just a simple chop. We could just use the A and D strings open. I will sing and I'll dance and my laugh shall be gay. I will cease this wild weeping, drive sorrow away. Though my heart is now breaking, she will never know. Her name made me tremble, my pale cheek to glow. And there it is all fancied up for you. So just to recap, we have the very simple melody of Wildwood Flower in the key of D. If your guitar playing friends make a sour face or raise an eyebrow, please ask them or offer them your capo and ask them to capo up a couple of frets, and it'll be just fine and dandy. It works out of the key of D. We've sung a couple of lines, and I've hopefully have shown you how I go about adding a little chop so that I can kind of accompany myself very simply while I sing. Just exchange that hand that taps the offbeat for the bow that chops the offbeat, and you'll be in business.